Hello, today is the 21st of May 2025. This is the third video I'm making today, and this video is an update on me and Mario. And I think at the start of this video I'm going to edit in basically the small update video I made a couple days ago already, so that you're kind of up to date. So let me just play that here. Basically yesterday my friend Mario said that he met someone that, like, it went so fast. Like, he was in Ibiza or Ibiza, whatever it's called in English, from Saturday until Monday, okay, and today's Tuesday. And he yesterday evening basically told me and Delana, but okay, beforehand he asked, like, Leona, is this okay to talk with you about that? Like, are you 100% sure? He asked 3 times. Then I was like, yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I know that, you know, relationships or sex or whatever we kind of mentioned is part of your life, because you're like a 25-year-old grown man, and like, I know that it's a part of your life, but of course it upsets me, like, because he knows I like him and stuff, so of course that would upset me and hurt me in some way, but I wouldn't expect it to not be in his life. And then he just basically said, yeah, so I met someone there in Ibiza, whatever, and that he's now been like thinking about this person, and he doesn't really like know, like, there's a lot of thoughts going through his mind, and like, she lives there, so they can't really like see each other often, and nothing is obviously official yet, and they literally know each other for a day or two. And I don't understand, like, how that can go so fast. Like, I mean, yeah, sometimes it just kind of clicks and you have that sort of chemistry and flow, but it's so weird, the fact that he was already talking like he was really into her and stuff. And then he basically just said, like, okay, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to hurt you. Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail. And basically by that time I was also like, yeah, honestly, I didn't say this, but I was like feeling like, okay, honestly, I don't want to hear much more right now. I just want to process that, and I felt like I just wanted to get off the call. And I don't know, obviously part of me felt like crying, and another part of me was like, yeah, okay. It's not like a super big surprise, even though it went like so fast now that he just suddenly, he met someone, now he's suddenly super into her or him, I don't know, like, whatever person. Yeah, I came off the call and I went into the living room. I was feeling, I'd say, fine at that point. Like, I wasn't doing super bad. I wasn't like, you know, this is so bad, and because I knew already he didn't like me. We had already discussed it, we already talked about it, so it wasn't like a surprise that he wasn't in love with me or whatever. But yeah, of course I thought about it then and got upset, and I don't know, I didn't immediately start crying. Like, it took a while until the tears came, and honestly I didn't like cry. It was just always a few tears that came, and in between my face kind of scrunched up and there was more tears, but it was never like really heavy crying, and it was never like desperation or like deep sadness, but I was just very upset. I was just very sad. So at some point, because mom was using my room to teach her German class online, I went into the bathroom and I just sat on the floor in the bathroom and let the thoughts kind of go through my head and let the tears come, and not many tears came, honestly, but I was just thinking, like, wow, of course, like, why did he have to go to Ibiza? Like, why did he have to meet that person now? And then, like, why is he not falling in love with me? Like, why is he not liking me? Why does he not see that we could be a great team? Stuff like that. And then obviously really upset for myself, because, you know, there's always this hope that yeah, maybe someone's in love with me, maybe I can finally experience a relationship and stuff. And yeah, just seeing like it's not possible right now, but honestly, like my thoughts, I didn't feel really bad. I don't know, it wasn't like dramatic or anything, honestly. Yeah, and like being sad about it honestly felt good, because it just brought me away from other things I was thinking about that weren't really lovely things to think about the past few days and whatever. So I honestly just kind of was in my own little bubble again, and it honestly felt quite soothing. And like I knew that like at the end of the day I'm gonna have someone who loves me and who chooses me, someone who wants to be with me. I know at the end of the day I'm gonna be with someone who I love and who I really can be myself around, and we're a great team and stuff like that. I know at the end of the day I will have that. The question is when, because right now I would love a relationship, and or I'd be interested to see what it's like and to, I don't know, figure it out. Yeah, I just really thought like it could really be him, like my friend. Like he is such a beautiful human being inside out, and he is everything that I wished for, and he kind of ticks all my boxes, as bad as that seems, but like he's everything like I always imagined and always wished for or wanted to like see in a partner, or having a partner. So yeah, so that was just really sad. And at some point then, like I came back into the living room and I was crying while making myself a tea, and my sister asked what was going on, and I just told her, but we didn't really talk about it. And I just then watched a movie that kind of was a feel-good movie, and then at some point I was just sitting on the couch again in utter silence and was just kind of looking down and like really sad. Then I went into my room and just laid in bed, because I just wanted that comfort, and I just wanted to be kind to myself. And honestly, I was very gentle and kind to myself. Like my thoughts, I was not beating myself up, I was not telling myself how to be, what to be, whatever. Like honestly, it was a really nice experience, because I was really kind to myself, and I just brought myself through the process. And I was then lying in bed looking outside the window, and it was such a beautiful day. Like the sun was shining and the nature was like blooming, and it's so bright, like all, like it's so beautiful outside, and the weather is so good currently. So I looked outside and tears flowed, but again it wasn't like anything bad. It was honestly really soothing and calming, and obviously I was like very sad as well, but it was nothing like bad. It felt very soothing. And then my parents saw me, because they passed my window, and then they came inside, and first mom was with me, and she laid down in bed beside me for a few seconds, and then got up and like asked if I wanted to say something, and I honestly didn't really. I was just like, no, it's really not that big of a deal, I just need to cry, it's fine. And then Alana kind of interrupted us, so that was kind of over pretty fast. And then Dad came in at some point as well while Mom was still there, and Alana, he asked just like, you know, if everything's okay. I was like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, it's fine. Then Mom and Alana left, and Dad was still there with me, and I already like got up out of bed. I was like, yeah, I just needed a bit, you know, of time, and I was already ready to go into the living room and watch a movie with Mom. But before I left the room, Dad and I were sitting on my bed then, and he just wanted to know, like, is it something he needs to like worry about, or am I going to be okay? And then I actually told him just, yeah, no, just Mario said he met someone that he's interested in, and I'm going through the emotions, but it's really not that big of a deal, and I know I'll be fine and stuff like that. And he just really listened and was compassionate and said, yeah, he actually said a few things that I don't fully remember, but I remembered that it was like helpful, and it was nice actually talking to him. He wasn't like being negative or anything, he was actually being just supportive of me and saying like, the most important is that I'm okay basically, and to remember like there's so many fish in the sea basically, and that I will at the end of the day have someone And I was like, yeah, I actually don't have any doubt about that. Just right now it's just a bit hard and I just need to feel the emotions. He was like, yeah, of course, and you know where we are and stuff like that. So yeah, it was actually really nice. Then I went to Mom in the living room and we watched a movie, and I did get a bit distracted with like wanting food, craving kind of food, and then going at my phone as well in between. But yeah, I was still fine, and I noticed I was kind of distracting myself, but then I put everything down and I just kind of concentrated on the movie then, and I cuddled with Akela. It was so nice, and chatted a bit with Mom about various things, nothing serious or deep, but just some various things, and that was kind of all nice. And yeah, then when I tried to fall asleep at night, I always listen to Great Meditation, and on their newest video there was a person singing at the end, and that made me so emotional. Like, it was so beautiful, and I just started crying. But I knew like I would be fine, like there was no question about that. But I was obviously upset, and I obviously had many like different thoughts going through my head, but nothing that overwhelming, nothing like, oh my god, there's so many things in my head. No, just various thoughts, and I was still fine. But then in the morning I woke up with stupid other thoughts about something different, which I then had to deal with, and honestly I dealt with it fine. I regained perspective pretty quickly, and when I got up out of bed, went for a walk, I actually forgot about it and kind of moved on. And then in between still today, like I don't think I cried. I think maybe this morning I cried once, I think, just shortly though. But in between I can still feel like obviously a pain, and I'm just very sad, but you know, I'm fine and it's okay to be sad. And yesterday evening as well, Mario texted me as well about, he was thanking me for the kind words I had said to him on our phone call, because he was actually at first crying about his dog who was kind of slowly passing away basically, and I just was very supportive and there for him. And this was before he told us he met someone, and I was just like, yeah, of course, like I'm always here for you and stuff like that. And then I basically just said, like, you know, I'm thankful that you were honest with me. Like, I prefer you being honest with me about having met someone than to hide it from me or to lie to me. Like, I prefer to feel the pain of like the truth than the pain of noticing someone lied to me or hid something from me. And I was like, of course I'm like upset, like of course it's kind of hurtful, but I know at the end of the day I'll have someone who wants to be with me and who loves me, and I love him. For a while obviously I thought he might be the one, because I think we would be a great team, but if he's happy with someone else then I'm happy for him. And yeah, that's basically what I said, and he just sent back a red heart and said he got the message about the being honest and stuff, and that was kind of the end of that. So that was nice. I just got to say the one thing I wanted to say as well, or actually the few things I wanted to say. Yeah, he isn't doing the best at the moment, and I'm not doing the best either, but honestly, like, today was a nice day, yesterday was a nice day, the day before that, like, the weekend was really nice. Like, honestly, I'm like, I'd say getting better step by step, and learning more and more, and like just enjoying being here. Like, especially yesterday when this happened, I really enjoyed having my family around me and cuddling with my dog Akela, and today I'm really enjoying being outside and the work I'm doing. And when I went for a short walk this morning, I actually stepped onto the field, and then I felt like completely free and completely relaxed. Like, nothing was bothering me for a couple of seconds. I just saw this beauty of like the sun shining through the trees and illuminating all like the plants and the colors, and it was so beautiful. And then I felt like that beauty inside of me, like I felt so lit up and so free. And I saw then Akila running around me and enjoying the nature and playing and stuff like that, and I really lived in my milele, basically my freedom place, my home, the tattoo I got, and you know, lived a moment of like complete peace. And that was so beautiful, especially because that morning there was this stupid thought specifically that worried me a bit, and the whole thing with Mario, obviously. And it was so like beautiful, like to see, wow, I'm really growing strong and I can live these moments and have those moments and create them. And it just shows like I'm really capable and I'm really able to be free no matter what happens. And like, it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I love that. And that's basically the update right now. That's it. Thanks very much, and I will keep going. Until then, bye. Yeah, and now we can go on to what the update is since yesterday evening. So I chatted to him yesterday. We were on a video call, and like it was all fine and stuff until like he kind of started smiling, and I knew that he was kind of holding something back, like he didn't want to tell me about something. I kind of already knew it was about the girl he had recently met and is interested in. I was just like, you know, just tell me, I'll be fine. What is it? What is going on? And then like he at first just didn't kind of want to tell me, was trying to distract, but I kept circling back. I was like, Mario, tell me. And he just said, yeah, he's going to Ibiza again to see her. It's so lovely. So yeah, that's the update. Literally. So he is going to see her in less than 2 weeks. And yeah, I didn't say much to him. I just said, yeah, I kind of knew that already. Like I already cried about it in Ireland, because I was guessing that like while I was here he was probably gonna go to see her again, or that he was gonna probably go to see her at some point again. I really hoped that he wouldn't go to see her while I was here, because he only had like 2 weekends free while I was here, and he had everything else already planned, so he could only see me like properly at 2 weekends. But he now booked a flight to see her at one of them. Like I already hoped in Ireland like he wouldn't do that, but I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen, so I was already prepared for it. Yeah, and then he also said like for the last weekend, which is the last one he has off where he could spend more time with me, he then said to that as well, yeah, he probably won't have time then either, because he probably is gonna do something. And I know he didn't mean it in like a rude way or anything, and he was like, yeah, we can meet on Fridays and we can spend like Friday evenings together. But I just really felt like he wasn't putting effort into meeting me. And I don't know, when I came off the call, I had mixed emotions. Like obviously I was really upset. I was really sad, because now it just showed, okay, obviously this is something more serious. Like it's not just a person he met at one weekend and now they're barely in contact and whatever. But no, obviously they are in contact, and it is more serious because he's going to meet her again. So it just kind of was another confirmation for me that he doesn't like me and he's interested in someone else, and he's taking that seriously. So I was crying obviously because I was very upset, and I was also a bit angry for various reasons. First of all, I was like, how can you meet someone so fast and be like all over them so quickly? Like, how, like, what? I know it is possible, but I'm just like, I wish it wasn't in this case. But like, I don't know, like it was really like, how can he be so like into her when he just met her once during one weekend? Like, how? And then secondly, it was like, how can he not see anything between us? How did he not see that all this time? Like, that, how can he not see it? And then I was also mainly annoyed and angry about how he was really not putting in a lot of effort to meet me. And I said as a joke on the call as well, like, wow, you've so much time for me. And I kind of meant it seriously, but I was joking, but kind of meant it seriously. And I think he noticed that as well, but it's fine. We were kind of laughing at it, but like, I don't know, I was a bit upset. Like, even if I weren't in love with him, even if I were just his friend, I would still feel the same, that he's really not putting in a lot of effort to meet me. Like, he has every weekend planned now, and he's staying overnight during most of the weekends, so we won't be able to see each other Saturday or Sunday. And Friday evenings, just after his work, for like 2-3 hours maybe, like once a week, if even. So like, I don't know, it's like he doesn't make extra time to see me, or he doesn't just keep like a full day free to like hang out with me. Like, and I know like maybe I'm expecting too much, and I know I can't expect that from him, and but I just wish like he from himself would want to meet me to that extent, that he would make extra time for me, and that he just would keep like a day free to meet me and to see me. And I don't know, like, he still has that one weekend free, but he's saying to me, yeah, he probably will plan something there too, which I know he's saying to me in advance so that I don't get hopeful that he's gonna meet me there, but because he probably will have plans. So I know he's trying to be nice in that way, but it just kind of upset me and kind of made me a bit angry. It's something I just need to get over, and I will get over that, and we will see each other, of course, but it's okay for me to be upset as well. Like, and obviously I was also telling myself how I obviously would like to date someone or be with someone who, does want to see me more often and does make time for me. I don't know, maybe I was trying to make myself fall out of love with him by pointing out some things I don't like that much about him. Even though like all of that can be solved and stuff, but I don't know, like, yeah, that just annoyed me. And anyway, I was crying because it makes sense why I was crying. I don't think I need to explain it, but I was crying hard, and I was just like, how can he not be in love with me? And like, why? Like, I obviously still need to be alone for a while, but I feel like I've been alone for a long time already in my life. And I just wished for myself, that something would happen. And he seems like such a nice guy. And he is such a nice guy that I would just love to have more with. But yeah, it's not meant to be right now anyways. And I completely trusted at the end of the day I'm going to have someone who loves me and who sees me. And I know that I'll be fine, and once I build this base that I've already started building in myself, that I can always go back to, and where I always know I have myself and I'm okay when I'm alone and I'm my own strength and power. I was just crying very hard. And then I asked Mom if she wanted to call me, because I just wanted to just speak to someone about this and just say aloud what was going through my mind. And she came on the call with me, and I just kind of asked her if it's okay if I just speak, and then maybe at the end she can talk. But I don't really, want to feel worse, so I don't know if I really want her to say anything. Like, it really depended on what she was gonna say. But she was just there and she listened to me, and I basically said all of this. I basically just said, I don't understand certain things, and I'm like a bit angry about certain things, and I'm very upset, obviously. And she was like, yeah, she's upset for me too, like she really is. And the one main thing that I said and was focused on was how I'm actually glad this happened. Like, I'm actually sort of glad that he's not in love with me, because now I can build a base for myself, a base, where I can always go back to, and where I'm not relying on any other people to feel happy or powerful. A base in myself where I know I've always got myself, and I'm strong, and I'll be okay no matter who enters or leaves my life. I really I mentioned this, I think, in all 3 parts of the videos I made today. So I don't need to go in much more detail about that, but I explained it to Mom, obviously, how I want to build this base, and that's why I'm actually quite glad he's not in love with me, because now I can build it instead of kind of hiding behind him to make me feel happy and powerful, which isn't possible anyway. But now I can really build that base, and then when someone is ready to date me and I'm ready to date them, that I know I'll be fine no matter what happens, and that I always have myself. And I want to learn to be okay with myself and to love myself as well, because then I know I'll get through everything in life. And I know, I don't need anyone, and when things like this happen, when I get rejected, for example, or someone's not in love with me, that I'm still fine, and that I still love myself and have myself and feel good. So when I explained this to Mom, she was like in awe. She said, like, Leona, you are so strong. Like, she was like, you are amazing. It was so cute. She said, like, you are amazing. Like, what normal person would say they are glad this happened? And she said, like, I'm actually quite envious of you, because I kind of wish I would have been this aware and this wise when I was your age, because only now at my age am I noticing, like, how much I'm relying on other people, kind of, and how when Dad and me fight, how much it affects me, and how, like, my entire world is suddenly shaking. So she basically just said how now she is only learning to build that base for herself. And she really said, like, I'm envious of you, that you are so wise and, like, so strong for doing that and saying that. And I don't know, it was so sweet being complimented like that. And then I just noticed it myself. I guess, like, it's not very normal, my reaction or what I was saying there. And it definitely takes strength. And I know that it is wise, because by doing this, by building this base, I will be fine. Like, by building that, like, no matter what happens, I'll always have myself, and I can never lose myself, so I'll always have something I can come back to. So I know it is wise. Like, I know it. So it was just nice to hear those compliments, and then to admit to myself, yeah, it is true. like she said she's so grateful to have me in her life, and she said that she's always there for me and I can call her anytime, and my family's always there for me. And I really loved talking to her. Like it really helped me, and it was so nice. Like, just, I don't know, like I thought about certain people I could talk to. I thought about Mario. I was like, I could talk to him, but it didn't feel right, and I didn't really want to talk to him. I was kind of mad at him. And then I could talk to my younger, I obviously I didn't show any signs of being mad at him at all, like at all. He has no idea. And I'm not showing any signs because I know it's something I need to deal with myself. It's something I can get over, and it's something in me. It's not like he did anything wrong. And then I could talk to my sister Alana, but I kind of felt like I wanted someone, you know, who's like a bit older. Like she's my younger sister, you know, and someone who kind of just knows me in the way I think a bit more. So I was just like, yeah, I kind of want my mom, and I kind of just want that comfort of just speaking to my mom as well. And I knew that it might also not fully help, but that's why I asked at the beginning if she could just listen to me, at least until I had finished speaking. But yeah, it helped a lot, especially because she was focused on how powerful I was feeling, and she was pointing out how powerful I was instead of focusing on things I wasn't able to do anything about. You know, the fact that Mario is planning to do other things, the fact that Mario is in love with someone. Like if she would have been like, oh yeah, that's really stupid of him, or yeah, I don't understand that either, like why would he do that, like that, you know, wouldn't have really helped me. Like, or if she would have said, yeah, just ignore him, or kind of just cut him out of your life, like, okay, she wouldn't have said that obviously, but if she would have, that would have made me feel really powerless. But instead she was focused on, you know, making me feel powerful, and that really helped. So that was very, very nice. And yeah, after that call I felt so much better as well, because I just noticed how strong I was, and it was very nice. And then a few minutes later I called with my sister Alana. She told me about what she's currently worrying about a bit, and then I told her about my things, and we were just crying together. No, we weren't actually crying, but we were each other's support. And yeah, the next morning, which was this morning, Mario texted me saying, good morning, how are you? And I didn't look at the message for a couple of minutes because I'm trying to obviously let go of him a bit more, so I don't want to immediately grab my phone or respond to every single thing he says. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm just gonna relax, watch a bit of YouTube like I do in the mornings, and take care of myself first, see how I'm doing. And also, I didn't really know what I was supposed to say to that answer, because I was fine, I am fine, but I was obviously very upset, and I was still a small bit annoyed at him. So I didn't really know what I should say or reply to that. Yeah, then at some point I was ready, and I just texted back saying like, I'm doing okay, I had a nice chat with Mom and Alana yesterday. He then said that, yeah, it's so nice that I have them to count on and that they're there for me. And he just said that he's thinking about me a bit and hopes that I'm okay. And that made me cry. Like, I just started crying then, because he's so caring and he's so lovely, and I just want to be with him. You know, I just love him. Like, he's such a beautiful human being. And yeah, I then needed a few minutes, and I just laid in bed and I cried, and I was like, okay, what can I reply to that now? Because I did want to tell him the truth, that obviously I'm really upset, but I am fine. But I am very upset, obviously. And yeah, so I just allowed myself to cry a bit, and I was there for myself. And yeah, I noticed as well I want to like call some other people as well, like my friend from Ireland who lives in Dublin now, who I used to work with in the shop I worked in Ireland, how I like would like to call with her, or my friend from Germany, or my aunt, my favorite aunt, who I haven't spoken to in a long time either. I was just like, I want to like talk to people who are lovely to have in my life, and want to surround myself with those people and not just be focused on him, for example. Or I might ask his friend, who I also met like 2 or 3 times now, and see if maybe she wants to meet up with me. I might contact her. Or mom is teaching some like German lessons to Mario and also another person, and I could, for example, meet that guy as well, because mom says he's very nice and he would probably be open to meeting me as well. I've never met him before, but I just want to kind of meet more people and see if there's more nice, lovely people around that I can kind of surround myself with. And it's so amazing that I'm at that stage in my life. But yeah, circling back then, I did send Mario a voicemail this morning, and it was almost 5 minutes long. And I just told him the truth, and at the beginning, I just asked, is it okay if I just tell you a bit of what's going on in my mind? And I think it might be the easiest if I just play this voicemail here. Like, I can just edit it in here. So yeah, let me just play it.
Hi, so is it okay if I tell you like a few things that are going through my mind? So first of all, like obviously I'm really upset. Again, like I know I'll be fine and it's okay. But like of course I'm upset. Like you can imagine like being in my position and then someone that you like, meets someone else. Well, first of all, doesn't like you back, and then second of all, meets someone else. And then the fact that you're, going over and stuff just shows me that obviously it's, a more serious thing now. It's not just, oh yeah, you met her at the weekend, but now you're like barely in contact anymore and like nothing's gonna happen. But no, like obviously it's something more serious because you are going over to see her, or I don't know if it's even a her. You never actually said the gender. So yeah, that's obviously really upsetting. I mean, I already cried about this in Ireland because I thought this was gonna happen, so it's nothing like new for me. But of course, yesterday was another like confirmation, like, yeah, this is something serious and stuff. And obviously, like, I want you to be happy. Like, I would never want you to be unhappy. So if you're doing good and stuff and you're happy, then I'm happy for you. But obviously, I'm really sad for myself. But at the same time, even though there's some questions in my head, which I don't really want an answer for right now, but there is some questions in my head and I just don't really understand certain stuff, but that's okay. And what was the other thing? Like, yeah, I spoke to mom for a while and I was just like crying on the phone to her, and it was really nice speaking to her. And I was also like not crying as in like, oh my god, this is so bad and there's no answer for it and like I'm all alone and stuff like that. No, like obviously it's hard to see, yeah, I am alone, and I don't know for how long more I will still be alone. I feel like I've been alone for so long already in my life, but I can deal with that. And the thing that I've just noticed is that I really want to like build a base for myself. So like I want to be stable in myself, that no matter who is in my life or out of my life, or if I'm alone or things like this happen, that I can always like come back to myself, and that I'll always feel like I have myself and that's okay, and I'm strong enough, and I don't need anyone else to be happy or to feel stable. Like I want to build this base for myself that I can always go back to, and then never feel so like alone or disappointed or like I need someone else, but know that I just have myself and that that's enough. So like partly I'm actually really glad this happened, that you don't like me back, because otherwise I would probably be like relying on you or other people to feel good or to feel happy and stable, and I don't want that. Like I want to be able to feel happy and stable just by myself, having myself. So that's why I'm actually glad to some extent that you don't like me back, so that I can now focus on loving myself and being there for myself, so that I don't need anyone else. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm sorry this voicemail is so long and my voice is so raspy. I actually don't know why. Anyways.
So yeah, that's what I said, and he then texted back like, "This just makes me feel devastated." And when I saw that message, I bawled. I bawled my eyes out, because it actually felt so good to see that he just sees like how sad I am, and he just notices like this is a painful thing, you know. And I just loved that he was so compassionate. And then he sent me a very long message back. Yeah, he said various things, like he thanked me for my honesty. He said that I will get answers to the questions I have whenever I'm ready. There's no pressure. He said that, yeah, he thought it was a good idea to tell me about him going to Ibiza, because he didn't just want me to find out like the day before, or you know, he wanted to be honest with me, which I had asked him to be as well, so I'm grateful for that. He said that, you know, he's always there for me in a different way. Yeah, that if I need any help or support or whatever, that I should always reach out. And he said like he's very sorry. Like he said like the tears, you know, he said it's hard for him to hear that I was crying, because he knows like he's responsible for those tears, and even though he's not, it's my own thoughts. But you know, like, yeah, it is the situation with him. But he just said like, you know, it's really hard to hear that you've been crying, and knowing that I'm responsible for those tears, and for that I'm really sorry. Like, I don't want to hurt you. And then he sent me another separate message just saying like he loves me so much, and he's so appreciative of me and how I help him so often, like with so many things, that I'm just like a support for him, and that he really wants that to continue this way. And yeah, I was just crying the whole time reading those messages and texting him back. I was just crying so hard. But I just said like, yeah, how I'm very grateful he told me, like no matter how painful it was, but I'm glad he was honest with me. I just said how like I know he doesn't want to hurt me. He's so caring and kind, and I love him for that. I love him for that. And how I'm very grateful for his words, and how I really pointed out like I am so grateful I can talk so openly to him about this. Like, it really means a lot to me. Like, I really wanted him to know that. Like, it means so much to me, and I love that. And he replied to that saying, you know, thank you for my honesty, and that he considers me a very strong person, and, you know, for the fact as well that I can and will learn from this. And I replied to his message, the one where he said he loves me and he's so grateful to have me. I just replied to that like, I love you so much, and I always want to be here for you, and I always want you in my life. And how like he like changed my life in a lot of ways. Like obviously he didn't actually, I changed my life, but when I met him, just like so many things in me changed. And so I basically just said like, you changed so many things in my life, and you helped me open up doors that I held shut and locked for so many years. You know, things that I was so afraid of, and you helped me see that I don't need to be afraid. I'm so grateful for that. And then to his message that, you know, I can learn from this and that he considers me a strong person, I replied that, yeah, I will learn from this, and there's always something I can learn from things like these. I know that I can build that base for myself, and that then someone will see me at some point. And he hasn't replied to those 2 messages yet, but he has seen them. So anyways, that is the update. So yeah, I've just been allowing myself to absolutely cry, to be angry, be sad, love and laugh, all the emotions. And I'm so grateful for the people I have in my life, and I'm so grateful for myself, for how strong I am and how I'm getting through this, and I'm allowing myself to feel all the emotions and be the way I am, just be with myself and comfort myself, and how I'm open now to meeting new people as well. And how like, yeah, obviously I don't want to use other people to cover up this sadness or this pain or whatever, but yeah, of course I want to surround myself with lovely people, and I do want a relationship, you know, like I do want to experience that, but at the same time I just know like the most important thing is for me to build a base for myself, and I am doing that and I'm working on it. And it still doesn't mean I need to like keep out other people from my life. Even when I have other people in my life, I can still learn to build a base, and the fact that I know that that's the most important thing already shows like I will build that base for myself. So yeah, that's that. Thank you very much for watching. It helped a lot to make these videos, to talk and to update you, and yeah. Take very good care of yourself, be there for yourself, love yourself. You've got this. Thank you for watching. Bye.